So first thing we want to do, we don't want to do any concealing under eye dark circles, because obviously she is supposed to be a living dead, so dark eye circles would be okay. What I suggest is using a foundation that is lighter than your skin tone, at least 2 shades. Try not to go too pale, because then you just look ashy and it ruins the entire look. So I'm going to do something that is a bit light for me, not very much so, and then I'm going to set it with a white setting powder. You may want to blend this down onto your neck as well too, and parts of your body that are showing, if you really want to drive home the effect. And once that's done, you want to set it with a powder that is preferably white based, or something at least 2 or 3 shades lighter than your natural skin tone. Okay, so I've already completed this side of my face, and we're going on to this side. So what I've done is I've already primed my lid using any primer that you normally would use, and I have gone in using a flat shader brush and used sort of like a matte vanilla-ish type color, so something like this will work. And I'm just going to pack that all over the lid, just like that. And once that's done, I am going in with a small detail brush that looks like this, and I'm picking up a matte black, any matte black, and I'm drawing a very sharp cut crease from the edge of the eye, starting from right about here, and taking it up just about a 1/4 inch from where the eyebrow ends. And you want to go back in, pick up some black, and just deepen up that line. Your line should be a bit wider towards the outer end of the eye. And then what you want to do is connect the outer edge of the eye to the end of that line, and you want to really make that line nice and bold so that we have something to blend when we go back out to blend, when we go to blend it back out. So your cut crease should look like that at this point. And I decided to mix it up a bit because this is not traditionally Morticia, but I think that it kind of gives the look a little bit of pop. And this is my Sugar Pill quad, my Burning Heart quad, and what I'm going to be using is the purple, which is called Poison Plum, how appropriately named. And I'm going to pick that up on that same small smudge brush that we've used previously, and I'm just going to line where we placed that black cut crease. And then I'm going to drag that color up. So I'm taking the Poison Plum, I'm first lining that line, and then I'm slowly going to drag the color up. Now once that's done, I'm going in with a blending brush, any fluffy blending brush will do, and I'm picking up a little bit of the Poison Plum on the tip of that brush and mixing it with some of the matte black that we had used, and I'm going back into the crease and just using that to blend out the top part of this line. We're not really doing any blending on the underneath part of the line, but we're just blending out the top part of it basically. You really want to soften up that line as much as you can, but try and keep the cut crease intact. So then we're going to pick up a little more of that black, the matte black, and we're just going to blend out the outer edge. Slowly drag it onto the lid color and just sort of give it a little bit of a blend. Just the outer corner. Good. Once that's done, we're just cleaning off that same blending brush, and I'm going back in with a color that is a matte nude skin color, and I'm just going right up underneath the brow bone. I'm bringing that down to soften off the top of the poison plum that we've placed there in the crease. Good. And that's what the eyeshadow should look like at this point in time. So once we're done with that, we are going on to doing our liner. And I have used a black liquid liner. You can use whatever liner that you're most comfortable with. And you want to line the top lash line starting from the inner corner of the eye, and we are winging it to match the cut crease that we've placed here on the outer edge of the eye. So we're starting very thinly along the inner part of the eye, and then we are going a bit thicker as the wing continues towards the edge of the eye. Right, so what you want to do is once you get to the outer edge of the eye and you've connected the wing, you want to connect the outer edge of that wing and pull it slightly down into the lower lash line. And then from there, we are going to take our blackest black eyeliner that we have, and we are going to tight line the entire eye, and that includes the bottom all the way to the inner corner of the eye, and even the top just underneath the lid here. And once that's done, we're picking up the same little smudge brush that we had earlier, and we are going to wet it a bit. You can use mixing medium, or you can just use some clean water, bottled water would be best. Give it a little bit of a wet and pick up a little bit of that black, and we're running it along the lower lash line from the outer edge to the inner edge of the eye. Basically, we're smudging the shadow into those lashes, and then we're drying off that brush a bit without cleaning it off. We're going to pick up a little bit of our poison plum once again, and we are going to smudge it right over the black on the lower lash line. I took a liquid liner in black, and what I did is I just gave a reference point. Now for her eyebrows are very arched. You can go through and cover the entire eyebrow out and then redraw a higher arched one, but this way I find it's much simpler. So what I did is I just drew a reference point, just so that I know where the highest part of my arch should be. And what I did is I started filling in the eyebrow and increase the arch. So just take your time. Good. So once the eyebrows are done, what I'm going to do next is layer some false eyelashes on. And the first one I have is a very natural looking but dramatic wispy lash, and you want to put a tiny bit of glue on this. This is what they look like, very wispy looking. So once that's on, you take the second pair of lash, and I chose this type of a spidery looking lash because I thought it would give a nice contrast with the lashes that I already have. We're going in with some mascara on our lower lash line, and then we really want to pack that mascara on the bottom lashes. You can also choose to do false lower lashes as well if you want to. You want to do a little bit of face contouring. And when you're doing contouring, you want to basically darken up the cheekbone area, just underneath the cheekbone in that hollow. You want to make sure you sharpen up your jawline, and you want to really slim the nose down. I would say go for something that is about 2 or 3 shades darker than your natural skin tone, but you want to also be careful because we don't want to really bronze up the look. She has this very gaunt look, so that's what we're basically aiming for. Very slim line features. Her nose is very slim as well, so we definitely want to try and achieve that. So once that's done, her blush usually is sort of a reddy type blush. Because I don't really have a red blush, I am going in with my cream blush that is sort of a hot strawberry type color. Picking up a tiny bit of this on my brush and just really applying it to the apples of the cheeks very lightly. Because we want that sort of an elongated look to our face, I'm applying it heavily on the apple of the cheek, and then I'm really stretching it along the length of the cheekbone. And that will give that sort of an elongated face type appearance. Once that's done, you can feel free to layer the blush using something that is similar in color with a powdered blush. And for the lips, now she usually does a signature red lip, a blood red lip in fact. What I want to do, however, is change it up just a tiny bit. I will still do the red. I am, however, going to... Where's my red? Okay, good. I am, however, going to layer in a little bit of like a deep purpley plum, because we have the poison plum going on our lids. So this is a purpley burgundy-ish type color that looks like this. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use the lipstick and outline the shape of my lips. And I'm keeping this primarily on the outer edges of the lips and the corners. And what you can do is take a brush and neaten up the edges. And then the last step we're going to do is actually take a blood red lipstick, like this, and we are going to layer it in the center of the lips and blend it into that deep purple that we've placed there. And that is about it for our look. Stay tuned to see the finished look.